Hello again, I'm the Tool Nut. This is the last in a 4-part video series on chainsaw sharpening. In this final video we're going to file down the rakers or depth stops. There is a predetermined distance between the top of the tooth and the raker. This determines your depth of cut, and this is crucial. So I have my saw flipped around in my vise, as you can see. Firmly secured, and I'll just set up the camera here. For this operation I'll be using a flat file and a Combi Husqvarna roller guide. It has 2 slots, one for softwoods and one for hardwoods. You can see that. And in an earlier video I forgot to mention this little tool, which is a file card. It's a wire brush. It's for cleaning files, and I find it helpful to keep my flat files and my round files clean. Just a quick rub will do it, because the cleaner your files are, the easier it is to use them, the better they'll cut. So, as with sharpening the teeth, I like to mark the first raker. I should actually start filing before I mark it. Now, the gauge, and I'm going to use the softwood because that's what I normally cut. I normally cut softwoods. So it just sits on top of the chain, and I like this gauge because it gives you a nice round on the raker. Rakers aren't meant to be filed flat, they're meant to have a round on them, and some of the raker gauges I've seen, they sit on the chain and they just give you a 90 degree. You kind of have to finish it off by hand. Now I like to roll the file freehand as well, just to finish off the rakers, but I don't think it's really necessary with this file gauge. But anyway, just 1 or 2 rubs is all it requires. And I'm just going to mark that one so I know where to finish. Move on to the next one. Just pull my chain back, brake on. Around 4 or 5 strokes is sufficient. There's a lot of dry diamond grinding wheels for sharpening chains on the market, and I've never actually used them, but they've become quite popular. I don't really see the need in using them because some of them are quite expensive, and once you sharpen a chain with a diamond wheel or a grinder wheel, the chain loses its temper and it can't be resharpened with a file. So once you start grinding chains, you're tied into grinders and grinder wheels, and I'm not a fan of them, to be honest. I'd rather using file. It's a little bit slower, but I think it's more accurate. You don't raise the temper of the chain, and you can file in the woods as well. I have seen some of those grinding wheel, so you can plug it into a 12 volt outlet in the car or a van, but I think they're a bit of a gimmick, to be honest. But what I used to do was bring my chains to a sharpening centre and have them commercially sharpened, but I found that my chains weren't lasting that long. They weren't lasting as long as I thought they should last. And he was obviously using some kind of a wheel as well, and they just eat through the teeth. Whereas with a foil, you're not taking off as much material, and consequently your chains last much longer, which is always a good thing, because this particular chain costs €33, so you don't want to be spending €33 every couple of weeks on new chains. You want your chains to last as long as possible. And it's just a matter of carrying on around the chain with your guide and your flat file until you reach the end, and then your chain is good to go. So that completes the sharpening of the chain. I hope this has been informative. Again, not claiming to be an expert, but I do get excellent results, and just thanks for watching.